Okay, we're all set.
Thank you, Lauren. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Reynolds School Project Building regular meeting of Thursday, March 21st. Lauren, if you could do the roll call, please.
Chairman Woods,
Here.
Councilor Nagel,
Here.
Councilor Rada,
Here.
Jeremy Wetzel,
Here.
and I see Brittany Carr also.
Thank you. So Carol Dugan and Amy Parati are not going to be with us. Next is public participation, and let's see. We have no public attendees in our waiting room. So we'll move on. Take action on prior meeting minutes. We have one, which is the meeting of March 7th. So I entertain a motion that we approve the minutes as written for the meeting on March 7th.
So moved.
Thank you,
Dave.
Dave.
Second.
Yeah, and seconded by Kim. Thank you. Any questions, discussions? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Okay, next item is. Where's my list?
Architects update is next, and Steve,
Yeah,
I will
thank
be
you.
making you chair so I can run to my other meeting.
Okay, Lauren, have a good night.
Thanks.
Jennifer, you're up. Architect
Okay.
update.
All right. So I'm sharing, but it is our typical report, our weekly visits, and we had a report this week from a site visit yesterday. Furniture installations are still being coordinated for this last phase and finishing things up. We're continuing. There are a few submittals still left that we're continuing to review. Questions from contractors, meetings that we attend, all the typical stuff. Things are progressing pretty well out there. They're getting a lot done. And most recently, we reviewed the potential change orders, which are on your agenda for this evening. There's 5 of them that Rich will go over, and we recommend those for your approval.
Okay.
Are there any questions?
Thank you, Jennifer. Anybody have any questions for Jennifer? Doesn't look that way, Jennifer. Thank you.
Okay.
Next is item 6, owner project managers update. Eileen.
Hi, how is everyone? So last week we went or not last week, I'm sorry, 3/7. We walked through the space. We had Amy and Kim with us. Dave, I don't think you walked through, but you were there.
I was there.
So you just didn't see D-Wing, but anyway, I hope everyone enjoyed the walkthrough and seeing the progress that's been being made. So we had another move meeting today. We go over various topics for the next move, this D-Wing phase that's in process right now, and then any other remaining issues that we go through. And as Jennifer said, the owners project management meetings, other things that happen with the contractors on site. We do recommend, as Jennifer stated, the change orders that Newfield has, the 5 of them for $33,454.34, and the application for payment that they've submitted. Does anyone have any questions, comments?
Doesn't look that way, so we're going to roll right into financial update. Still you, Eileen.
All right. So I'm embarrassed to say that I screwed up a reference here when I was moving the items to contingency. So 137, we had gone through all the items of the funds that were available to move to owner contingency. And when I moved the legal fees over, I lost something in the formula. So I'll get that corrected and send it out to everyone that's right here. But we're doing well. We moved items, we moved those funds 200,000, 21,608 into construction contingency.
You could just blow that up a little bit because it's really hard to read.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's better.
Better.
Yeah. At least it's legible now.
So everywhere we're doing well, except let's see, I did say we are gonna have to move some funds over for IES for the next invoice that comes in, since we only have 1,500 left there.
Okay, for our commissioning agent. All right.
Yeah. But the other costs I moved over here, so when I transferred the money out of stormwater, legal fees, moving and storage, so that there's the budget adjustment. 5,000 for printing and mailing, 10 out of bonding. Some of them go with other budget adjustments, so but
Okay.
anyway, for the owners, contingency tracking, we're still positive 500,000 34,9602.
Okay.
96802.
Anybody have any questions for Eileen on this? Lou, I see is your hand up?
I can't hear him.
Yeah, I don't think he's speaking to us.
But okay, I will adjust this and send it out.
I'm sorry, I'm fine. I didn't
Okay,
have my hand up.
okay. It is up, but
Oh,
now you got it. It's down, it's gone now.
okay,
Thanks.
no problem.
Okay, so we're gonna move on, and the next item is item 8, construction managers update. Rich? We'll do actually 8 and 9 together.
All right, so we're continuing obviously through phase 5. We're working both the interior and the exterior of the building at this time. So continuing to do any trade coordination and coordination with the owner and the architect on any details that we come across here. So the bump out at the media center has been completed for the brickwork. The windows are going to be going in there next. So if you've seen this side of the building from the other wings of the school, you would have seen that this was all tarped in for the past 2-3 weeks for them to do that masonry work, so they could keep that area heated for the masonry grouts to work. So that's now been completed. The roof work began this past couple weeks with tearing the edge of the roof to allow the carpenter to build his parapet. So that's what's underneath that black flap on the edge of the roof. So the roofer is getting ready for delivery next week of the remaining roofing materials, and his start date is still April 1st to complete this roof. So carpenter will get ahead of him with all of his parapet work in the next couple weeks, and by April 1st, they'll be able to start on the roof and keep everything sealed in. So additionally, you can see here the windows are getting installed. So most windows at this time are in. We do have a few that we're working on that had an existing condition issue with the head detail. So something that we did work through with KBA and their structural engineer for details on that head condition. So there is some work occurring now to correct that, to allow the rest of the windows to be installed. And then we'll be in pretty good shape as far as keeping everything out of the building for weather once this roof is on as well. We are keeping everything on right now as far as our temp protections go. They are doing a good job at holding out all of the any sort of wind driven rain. So it is staying very dry within the building for our interior finishes to go. So part of what I said here, the temp protections you can see in these corridor windows, plywood on the exterior and the poly on the courtyard side. So those are coming out while the windows go in. So we do have interior drywall occurring. They've largely finished up with that as far as all the soffits go and the walls. There is some work still in the media center. We're kind of phasing everything through the classrooms, working our way back towards the media centers. That's where the mechanical equipment is, and a large amount of mechanical stuff is. So collapsing back into that point is where we're going to direct all the trades as far as the finishes go. So this week, the drywall contractor finished third coat tape and sanding on the drywall walls and the soffits that you've been able to frame so far. You can see overhead mechanical ductwork installation is largely complete. The mechanical piping and the water piping are ongoing as well. So they remain exposed until next Wednesday when we have our building officials coming out to do a pressure test on all the above ceiling piping that's remaining. He's done a partial already. He'll be back out for the final. So we're working our way through that. You can also see in this photo some of these lines coming down. They have started the hangers for this suspended ceiling. We've got the paving contractor out here as well. He started priming first coat walls yesterday. Doing so allows the ceiling contractor to start running his wall angle. So he's continuing with that this week and the next week in preparation for mechanicals to start dropping in. So like I said, prime and first coat ongoing is on the main walls as well as the accent walls. So we are in pretty good shape when it comes to our mechanicals overhead and are getting our finishes in. On Monday, we're going to have the floor mitigation and leveling start. So their project manager was out on site this afternoon reviewing conditions, and his crew will be out here next week to start on those finishes.
Rich, you're cutting out.
Yeah.
Is that better?
Yeah, now you're back.
Okay. So yep, mill worker is scheduled for delivery the week of April 8th.
Yeah, now you're gone again.
Okay. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, continuing with the finishes, millwork is coming in the week of April 8th for delivery, and he'll be able to start install at that time as well. We have the paving for the courtyard scheduled for April 1st. I've spoken with Lou about that as well, because this school is going to be having separate playground equipment. So we are speaking with Lou to make sure that what he's got coordinated there is going to work as well. So there is additional drainage going in the courtyard as well for future use for that playground area provided through the project. That work is ongoing as well. So we're working on backing our way out of the courtyard. April 12th is the date that we've given our site work contractor to finish his work within the courtyard so that our mason can start building back the walls that we have that are current access to the courtyard. So we'll be backing out of there. Roof will be going on around that same time, and we'll be working towards finishes for approximately third week of May turnover. So, just any questions?
Anybody have any questions for Rich? One observation, what a difference in ceiling height in this wing, huh?
Makes the mechanical work a lot easier to coordinate.
Yeah, that's for sure. It looks good, Rich. It's all starting to come together now, and it's gonna come real quick. Big difference in that bump out in the media center, obviously, with the windows gone, right? Those big picture windows now with the just individual windows. It's kind of cool looking. I think it's gonna look really nice on the inside. Totally different from what it was.
Yeah, that's for sure.
All right. Okay, anybody else, anything? Nice work on the design, Jennifer. We're gonna move right into take action on a potential change order to this is still you, Rich. I think we have 5.
Yep, we've got 5 of them for this meeting tonight. So PCO 212 is from phase 4 work for the elevated slab. The F corridor elevated slab had structural steel that needed to go in to cover over plumbing, storm, and sanitary pipes that had to be installed in that wing. So there wasn't a portion of that area towards the gym. It was an elevated slab, and we put decking and steel angles in there to support the new slab going in. So there's costs associated with that for the steel work. The concrete was absorbed into an allowance with the general trades contractor to provide the concrete for that area. PCO 239 is for RFI 286. That's what I had mentioned before in D-Wing. The existing conditions at the head of the corridor windows left a gap where the window head fastening goes. So there's an additional steel angle to be installed in that location. Again, the drawings from the 1999 edition do not reflect that gap in that head location. So after the demolition was completed, it was discovered that there's going to be an issue when we laid out the new windows. So we are going to be adding steel to those. PCO 241 is related to the cloud ceilings that are in the cafeteria. During value management, that at the beginning of the project, the cloud ceiling that drops in there was changed, and in doing so, there was additional clouds added, and the additional heads were required. And that is something we've also discussed with the fire marshal, and they did continue to require those. So there's additional cost for 5 additional heads. The PCO 244, E102 corridor temporary carpet. After phase 4, there was a request from the fire marshal to cover up cleanouts that's outside of what we refer to as classroom E109, which is right by the current barrier wall where phase 4 and phase 5 connect. So there's temporary carpet that got put down there to avoid any sort of tripping hazards in that path. And that was at the request of the fire marshal. And PCO 246 is for an RFI 273.1. The phase 5 roof had open deck flutes, so the corrugated decking, typically that edge condition is covered by a continuous angle running the length of the building. That did not exist there, which appeared again on the drawings from when that addition was built. That was not the condition at the edge. So to close off that gap to not allow any sort of wind-driven rain or anything on that open face in, the plywood on the parapet is being dropped down further, and the cost here is for additional brake metal to cover that edge condition. And we've worked with the carpenter. He did not have a cost associated with extending the plywood, but again, the roofer has to put additional brake metal on. Anybody has any questions on any of these specifics?
I don't see anybody with any questions, Rich, so I just entertain a motion that we approve PCO 212, 239, 241, 244, and 246 in the amount of $33,454.34. Any takers?
So moved.
Thank you,
Second.
Dave.
And seconded by Brittany, correct?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Brittany. And Dave. All those in favor signify by saying
Aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Thanks, Rich. Take action on invoices. Eileen, I know we have a few.
Yep.
Actually, only 2 or 3, right?
Yeah, we just have 3.
Yeah.
All right, is that large enough?
Yes.
Okay. So we actually have the CSG invoice for $10,028.25 services through February. And then we have Connecticut Communications invoice for $2,080, which falls under technology. I'll show you the invoice in just a minute. And we have Tri-State, which is our testing agent for materials on the site, $1,131, and that's for February inspections. CSG invoice total. This is actually the school's vendor that does something specialized to the extensions once they're in there. So that's what this invoice is for. John Carolyn and Tri-State.
Okay.
Anyone have any questions on these?
So can I entertain a motion for these 3 vendors, which is CSG in the amount of $10,028.25, Connecticut Communications $2,080, and Tri-State for $1,131 for a total of $13,239.25.
So moved.
Thank you, Kim. And a second?
Second.
Second by Dave. All those in favor signify
Aye.
by saying
Aye.
aye. Anyone
Aye.
opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Next item is 11. Any other business pertinent to the committee? I know we have one, which is the payment application for Newfield. It is their
Stop
pay rec
sharing.
number 22. And it's in the amount of $873,887.17. We need a motion for that.
So moved.
Thank you, Jeremy. And a second
Second.
by Brittany. Thank you, Brittany. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Eileen, I think you have something for us.
I do. All right. Let me share this. Okay. So we've been dealing with an issue which is let's see, noise on the line. So anyway, we had gone to Southern New England electrical testing. Eversource had done a bunch of tests. Oops, sorry, I'm not sharing. I thought I was. Okay, can everyone see this?
You probably, there you go. It's a little bit better now.
So Lou and Steve are aware. We had Eversource come to the site and do some testing. And I shared these reports with SNEET, which is Southern New England Electrical Testing Agency. They want to come out and do a point, well, we need them to come out and do a point-to-point ground testing, which we believe will help us resolve some of the issue. So anyway, I just want to see if we can do this for 2,500 or 2,320. So that we have the opportunity to work on overtime or a holiday, because it needs to be done when the students are not in class, because they need to run lines from the grounds to do the testing.
Okay, so just a little bit of background for everybody. This is to do with the HVAC in the building and its control. We've had some issues, specifically in B wing, and we haven't been able to locate the problem. But we reached out. I asked Eileen to reach out to this company because they kind of specialize in this, and they suggested this would be the first place they would start is in the grounding to make sure that everything is grounded properly, to eliminate any noise. I guess any kind of noise backfeeding into the electrical grid there within the school can raise havoc, which it's doing, with the signal that it's sending to our heater. So either I'm going to make this up. We're calling for heat and we're getting 50-degree air coming out of there, or vice versa. We're calling for air conditioning and getting 75-degree heat. This is probably not going to solve the problem entirely, but we need to rule this out first. The cost is relatively low, and I thought it would be worth bringing to the committee to see if you guys are willing to go along with it to get this done. Because cooling season, believe it or not, is right around the corner. They'll be looking for air conditioning in probably 5 to 6 weeks. So if nobody objects, or I would entertain a motion for that 23. Can you roll it back up? It's 2320?
Yes.
That we approve this, not to exceed 2320 in case they do have to go in on a Sunday or a holiday, to get this testing done. We will be provided with a report of their findings and what they recommend we should do from there. Questions?
Brittany.
Yes, sorry,
Yes, go
I
ahead,
had
Brittany.
one question.
Yep.
I don't know what their schedule is like, but April 2nd is a professional development day, correct? And they don't have school, so could we schedule it for that because that's a Tuesday?
Yeah, as long as there's nothing else going on and it doesn't interfere with any of the staff, it would be great.
So,
Okay, thank you.
yeah,
Staff
Lou-
won't be in school that day. We're all going to be at the high school.
Okay, that was my question. You're going to be out of the building, so if you can get them to do it that day, Eileen, that would
Okay.
work. Okay.
Yep. Yep.
So if that's
Then
the
it would
case,
be less
yeah, it
if
would
they
be
could
less.
do it
It'd be
on
the
straight
low
time.
end. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Brittany. Yes, Kim?
Just a quick question. The 2320, the two quotes that were given to us, 2320 will cover it, or do you think we might need a little bit of a cushion just in case something goes over?
No, 2320 should cover it. That's
Right.
worst case scenario, which is if it had to be a Sunday or a holiday.
Okay, thanks.
Steve, the only other caveat to that, and I didn't speak with Lou yet, is that we need to provide a representative on site assisting, and I can do it. I think April 2nd, I should be able to be there and do that.
Okay, we can support that too, so
Sure.
we'll work it out between us.
Thank you, Lou.
Hmm.
All right, then I would entertain a motion that we approve an invoice to not to exceed $2,320 for Southern New England electrical testing,
Yes.
to do some grounding testing within Anna Reynolds Elementary School.
So moved, Dave.
Thank you, Dave. And a second?
Second,
Second, Brittany. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Motion passes unanimous. Anything
Thank
else?
you.
Anybody have anything else? Or any other business for it into the committee? All the dirt and grime's gonna be gone, guys, in 4 or 5 weeks. It's gonna be, even inside now, it's gonna be green out there before we know it. And we're coming to the end. I'm gonna miss these meetings. Well, they're not gonna be over for a little while yet. But once the construction stops, we probably won't have to meet, maybe monthly until we get it all wrapped up. But I want to thank everybody. You know, we've never had to cancel a meeting for a lack of a quorum. And that's difficult in this day and age. And I want to thank everybody for making that happen. It makes the project obviously go much smoother. And we've had our shares of little wrinkles in it going away, which you always do when you're renovating a building that's as old as this, and renovating a building when the kids are in it. It makes it more difficult. Kim, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to thank everyone after the last meeting for the tour. I know, and Dave, you probably have heard the same thing. Brittany, everyone who's never been to any of our meetings or had a chance to tour Anna Reynolds before were so impressed. They just really appreciated it and enjoyed it. So thank you all so much for making that possible.
Thank you, Kim.
Thanks, Kim. Let's see, public participation is our next item, and I'm sure we have nobody in our audience, correct? Oop, that's screen share. I don't want to screen share. We don't. And comments by members, anybody? Anything else? It's your last opportunity until the first Thursday of April. So, motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Thank you, Dave. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye. Happy spring.
Yeah, we stand
Yes.
adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. Have a
Good
good
night.
Thank
weekend.
you.
Bye now.